Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Whatever Show. Good morning or afternoon, wherever you are in the world. This is the Whatever Show. I'm your host, James Green. Right now I'm dolo because my man slid off. He had to go take care of some stuff. But just wanted to say tonight, Valentine's Day, people, if you do stuff for your people, your mate, your lover, whoever, year round, there will be no significance on certain days. This is how we get caught up with all of the marketing and all that other stuff. But that's another story. The whole thing, for real, as far as this day, is a beautiful thing to be able to take your lady or your man and have a good time. And then, after the day is over, you're back to your regular life. Now, my problem with that is you should love each other like that year round. That's how your fire's going to stay lit. So, hopefully you get that, because if you don't, then you're going to wonder why your fire's going out. Love is not just a word and it's an emotion, but it's one of them emotions that are tricky, so you have to use your head at the same time while you're dealing with the love thing, because, you know, love is truly blind. Like, if you love somebody blindly, man, you're going to be in a whole lot of shit. You're going to be in some shit. Because once the person figures out that they can do whatever they want and you're going to go with it, then you're a goner. Sometimes that's a good thing. Most of the time it's a bad thing. True love takes work. It's not something that you're going to find in a book. A lot of people are still looking for that storybook ending. It ain't so. You can have the storybook, but you got to work at the story. The page one is not always going to be the page. It's not always going to be on page one in your love affair or your marriage. When y'all first got together and y'all first got married. That's not. Time goes on, you get older, you get bigger, she gets bigger or smaller, whatever. Beauty goes away as far as the physical attributes, and now you gotta love each other now. And then that's when everything starts to change for most people, and that's a sad thing, because there's a lot of good people that leave each other because of what their eyes see. Even though in their heart they're like, this is the person for me. I know this is the person for me. There's no doubt about it. I got 15 years in, couple kids with this person. This is the person for me. But because you're not physically attracted to them anymore, it just demotes everything else. The person's a good father, good mother, provider, educator, whatever. All of that goes out of the window because they don't look good to you anymore. That's a sad affair. It happens all the time. Self-esteem is a big one. You know I used to have real self-esteem problems. And then, I married someone that called me sexy every day. All day. Like, how lucky can I be? Yeah, she literally just all day long calls me sexy. So, that's a blessing that I have, and I hope that all of you out there get the same blessing, because it's one of those things that you're going to wake up in the morning. We wake up in the middle of the night, and I tell her I love her, and it may seem strange to her, but the reason why I do that is because I'm trying to show her how much I appreciate her just wanting to be with me. Where a lot of people wrote me off, she stuck it out. And that says a lot about her character, and it says a lot about how she conducts herself as a person. And them are the type of people that you want in your life. Somebody who's going to love you for you, flaws and all. So, I'm hoping that people are catching this. It's easy for people to fall in love. It's even easier for people to fall out of love. I don't have no idea why, because if you can get over somebody that you've been with for like a year, in a day, maybe a week, you already moved on to the next. You, in my eyes, and it's just my eyes, I ain't nobody, I'm just one person. You ain't really love that person. Because love is one of them things that where you it's tricky, like I said, and it might be good for you, but it might be bad for you, but your heart is at, you're in constant war with yourself when it comes to breakups and being with somebody that you know is not good for you, or you know in your heart that you're not good for this person and they're too good for you. All of that comes into play when you're dealing with this love thing. So for a person to be able to immediately move on to the next after being with a person for over 6 months, a year, then I don't see where there was any love in that, because you gotta have some type of serious attachment. And it's so easy for people to give up on each other these days. Like, nobody puts up a fight anymore for what they want in the love department because they like just more efficiency. Well, more is not always good. There's a lot of people that found that out. So, I won't be so quick to find someone to replace the old flame you have and try to dull some of the pain you got inside. It's not going to be beneficial for you. You lose a lot of time and a lot of sleep trying to fight demons that you can't control, but it's just about the choice. You got to make the hard choice. You got to be either willing to let go, or you got to be willing to be honest with yourself and say that person really wasn't for me, and I shouldn't have wasted my time. And not being mean. It's just because the time you get, you can't get back. So anytime you've wasted with one person or another, it's a waste, people. And you can't get it back. So you have to, that's why when I see people leave this person and then go to another person that's worse than the person, I'm talking about looks, attitude, everything, worse than the person they left. No, if you're going to leave something that you've been with or someone that you've been with for a while, you're supposed to level up. You ain't supposed to go backwards. That's like, you might as well stay where you was at. Like, that don't make no sense. Like, that was the whole point of leaving. Because the situation wasn't good for you. So why would you pick a worse situation and think that's a benefit for you? But many people do this. I have done this, so I ain't even gonna say I'm fraud like I ain't never done it neither. However, the thing about now is I've learned from my mistakes, and I made my one mistake, and now I'm good. So that's how I gotta be. Not a loss, it's a lesson. So you gotta look at the lesson and say, okay, the person was not only not good for me, but that person almost destroyed me in one way or another. Financially, self-esteem, home life, family life. There's many ways that a person can hurt you and destroy you without even putting a finger on you. Think about that. A person can Jedi mind trick you into believing that they, hell, to the point where they walk on water almost. I'll go a little dramatic and say that. And there are some people that will fall to their knees and believe every word, and it's a sad affair because they're so damaged that they need someone to control them. Yeah, It's almost in the form like of being institutionalized. And the brothers and sisters who have to deal with the man and all this other stuff, if they happen to catch this show, then they will know exactly what I'm talking about. It's one of those reoccurring things that, you do up every day. You got to get up, you got to stand up, you got to get counted. And you got to get herded to child and herded back to child. And everywhere you go, you're herded. Okay? The love. These are the things that people, when they're in those situations, this is how they survive when they have love. The ones that don't survive, and I mean like this, not physically survive. I'm talking about mentally survive. Spiritually survive. Those are the ones that come out and do reoccurring things. Because why? Because they truly believe that they are alone and they were made to feel that way by the people that they loved. So do not play with love. Love is a very serious topic. I spoke to the man the other day and he told me about the years, and a particular month is a bad month for him, and he gave an example of some of them of why. And I'm not going to get into specifics because that's his story. And if he wants to tell it, then he'll gladly come and tell it. But the point that made him change his thinking for that thought pattern for that moment was because of all the people that had wronged him in this particular month. It changed his whole perspective. So do not play with love. That's the theme of this show. Do not play with love. It is the only thing, or one of the only things, that can make or break a person. It can make a person excel to great heights, and it can bring them to the ultimate low. And a person who is destructive, once they see that they have that type of power over a person, they will use it against them. And the ones like my beautiful, who love to be loved and love giving love, then your life is full. I know my life is full. Everybody has troubles, but you have to love yourself first, and then love who is with you and who loves you. And if you truly love each other, that person or your family or those people who you call family, if you love them and they love you, then you move like you're supposed to. And there should be no deceit in your heart of any kind. Nobody's perfect. But family has to learn how to take care of family, especially in these times when we're dealing with the last days. And these are the last days, people. So don't be acting like you don't know. With that being said, I'm going to sign off. I hope everybody has a good night. Be safe. This is the Whatever Show. Yeah. Uptown.